Hey guys, welcome to Kitchen Talk with Granna. I'm so glad you guys can come up in the kitchen with me today. And before we get started, you guys know the routine. If you're one of my new followers, this is what we need to do, okay? This is what I need you guys to do for me. I need you to go ahead down at the bottom of your screen, right down there. Yeah, right down there. And go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. Go ahead and share my video with all your family and friends. And as you share my video with your family and friends, make sure they're becoming one of Granna's followers also, and they're clicking on that subscribe button, okay? At the end of this conversation, you can come back and give me any comments that you would like to leave, okay? All right, so let's get ready and get it popping up into the kitchen today. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and jump off into it. We're gonna talk about some of these small business and what they're going through, and you know, with even when it comes to just getting their small business loan, okay? Now tell me, how is it that the loan has been sent out to all these big companies that don't even need them? You know, you got these big banks that don't even need these loans, and they receive them before the small business had a chance to get them. So now it is apparently it is causing a little bit more time for these small business to get their money because of the larger companies accepting this money even though they wasn't supposed to get it, and now they're having to send it back, and it's having to go back into the system and get regenerated to go out to the small business owners, okay? You know, it's crazy, but it's a fact that anytime anything is going on, the guys up top, the big guys, the big companies, you know, they're the first to get anything, to receive anything, and then it comes down from there. You know, the little people, as we call ourselves, or the little people, as the small business owner would call themselves, are always at the bottom of the toe, okay? I don't understand that. I mean, it should have been as simple as, you know, we're gonna take care of these small, non-essential business first before we start trying to bail out the bigger companies. Because your bigger companies worked it much longer, and some of them are still working, are still open for business. You know, these banks that receive this money, banks are not closed. Yeah, they have made adjustments to their to the banks. You know, some of the banks are drive-through only, but they're still operating. People are still making deposits into their accounts. People are still having their checks that are getting checks to go direct deposit into their account. So the bank is not losing any money at all, none, period. So, you know, I just don't understand that. I don't understand how it's already difficult enough for these small business to survive and to get past this pandemic without any extra stuff put on top of it, or them having to deal with any extra stress. You know, the process that you have to go through from what I'm seeing on the news and reading, you know, to get these small business loans, it's not a walk in the park. You know, they have so much red tape they have to go through, and so much of the process, and when it comes to filling this paperwork out and doing all this stuff just to get these loans, you know. And, you know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, the things you have to do to try to survive, period. And then you have all this extra stuff put on top of it, you know. And then, like I say, you have these bigger companies out here sitting back, still, you know, being able to pay their employees, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're able to go through this pandemic and still keep the doors open of your business and still be able to pay your employees so they'll have a livelihood still coming in, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying, if you're okay, then why would you take away from the smaller person that needs the help? You don't need a helping hand. Why are you got your hand out there? You know, if you're okay, you don't need to put your hand out there. You need to let that go to where it needs to go to help the people that needs the help. You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, even with all this stuff going on, people are still being greedy. people are still being unkind, inconsiderate of other people, other situations. And I guess it's going to always be that way. There is just going to be people in it. That's the same as when it comes to these companies. There are going to be some that just don't care about the next person getting a step up. It's all about them staying a step ahead, you know. And it's hard enough for these small business to fight up against these bigger companies as it is. You know, they don't need any extra help to do that. They're having a hard enough time trying to survive, you know. And it's even with that, you know, like I said, your small business, you got a owner, a person that owns a smaller gym compared to Planet Fitness or compared to the YMCA. They're already at a disadvantage because they cannot get the clients or lower their prices like the Planet Fitness or the YMCA or, you know, some of these bigger gyms, Curve, and some of these bigger gyms can. So they're already at a disadvantage because they can't set their prices as low as these places, because these places like, you know, Planet Fitness and the YMCA, their clientele is like, you know, way out there. And you got the smaller self-owned gyms that's just trying to maintain, you know, and that's just, you know, that's just what it is. So it's hard enough for them, it's going to be hard enough for them to survive. They don't need any extra help from these bigger companies that's taking away their loans that they still got to end up paying back. You know, they may put an extension on these loans. They may drag them out an extra 12 to 18 months, you know, to try to drag that payment out a little bit lighter, you know, and lower that payment for them. But they still got to take care of these loans, you know. So it's still gonna be, you know, a very difficult time for them coming right off the bat from, you know, trying to rebound from this coronavirus and everything. So it's just crazy, you know. I guess people just would never, you know, look through the glass from someone else's view. They're never gonna see it from someone else's view. They're only gonna see it as where they can be at themselves and where they can put themselves at. And if, you know, they're always thinking about putting themselves in a better place. And it's just crazy. But it is, you know, that is what it is. So, you know, hopefully when they get this money back, that they will move it quickly. It will move quickly and get in the hands of the small business that actually need it. And they're able to, you know, try to rebound. You know, once they start reopening up the economy, they'll be able to bring themselves, you know, back, and they'll survive. You know, I don't want anyone to lose their business. So hopefully they'll be able to survive it and stuff. And that's just like anything that's going on. You know, there's a lot of people out there that's trying to get their unemployment still to this day and having a very hard time. You know, some states are so behind when it comes to paying people their unemployment benefits, and you know, they're just having a hard time. You know, the system are crashing, it's overloaded, they're rejecting people. I don't know if they're making mistakes when they're filling out their employment requests, but a lot of people is being denied. They're having to go back and redo it. I don't know if it's because the company have not sent in their request or their part of it saying that they have laid these associates off and they are eligible for their unemployment. But it's just so much going on, you know, it's so much. And yeah, everybody got their stimulus check, but most of those checks are already gone. You know, they still mailing those checks out. They've started mailing them, and people still are getting them in their accounts. But you know, by the time these checks reach these families, a lot of them has already slipped underwater. You know, a lot of them has already slipped. And it's the same thing when it comes to these small business owners. By the time they receive these loans, these checks, they've already slipped underwater. Yeah. And that's just sad. That's just really sad. I really do feel for them. So hopefully they figure out a way to get this process moving a little quicker, and so that these people can bounce back. They can turn their business around. You know, hopefully when they do get able to reopen, they're still, even though I know they're gonna jump out there because of the financial, that they're still thinking about their customers and their clients, and still trying to make sure in any way possible that they keep them safe. And I'm sure they're gonna try to do that because you know, they're trying to rebuild their clientele. They're trying to rebuild their customers because some people may not return to some of these small business. You know, some people might just say, hey, I done went 2 months without these services, then I didn't really need them anyway. So I'm gonna just continue. I'm not gonna go back. So, you know, on top of everything else, these small business gonna have to deal with that. They're gonna have to rebuild their customer base just like from day one when they opened up their business and got started. So it's a lot that they're having to, just going through their mind. I'm not even a small business owner, and I think about all those things. So I can just imagine the things that they're thinking about and their plans, and they're strategizing, and they're trying to put together, you know, a rebound plan into action. So once this kicks off, they'll be able to pull those customers back in, get those customers back, you know. Because even myself, and this is just Granna, some of the things that I did before the coronavirus kicked in, I'm probably gonna do them, but not as often, you know. I'm probably still gonna go and get some of those services, but not as often as I was. You know, I might have been getting some of those services twice a month or weekly, and I might cut back to once a month or once every other month, you know. So there, you know, there's going to be some changes for everybody. You know, everybody's going to have to make some changes, and that includes the small businesses. They're going to have to make some changes. They're going to have to do some things differently to draw in their customers and rebuild their customer base. Okay, so I just hope that the government get this money situation together and you know, get it out there to these small businesses that need it, especially with them talking about reopening up the economy for these non-essential places, because some states has already started opening up their economy to these places. So I hope they can get this money in place for them, so that they can see a recovery at the end. They can see at the end of the rainbow. They can see that pot of gold for themselves. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Just, you know, and once these businesses open back up, of course, we need to support them. We need to get out there, even if you're cutting back the service time that you gave them, you know, before. Even if you're going only once a month, you know, just make sure you show them some kind of support and try to, you know, be there for them as much as possible. You know, just make sure we show that support to these small business. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to get ready and get out of here. But before I do that, don't forget to go back and leave me any comments that you might want to give me after this conversation is done. And also make sure if you're out and about, you're still practicing the social distance. You're still practicing your good hygiene. And when you go out and about, make sure you're still wearing a mask, because we still need that mask, okay? Make sure you got a mask and you're practicing wearing your mask, okay? And when you're wearing your mask, make sure you're wearing it correctly, okay? A lot of us, I've seen people in the store with their masks on, down here, hanging underneath their chins. Make sure if you got your mask on, you're wearing it properly, okay? So just make sure you're doing all that. Make sure you're living the best life that you can. And you guys, just have a great day, okay? Just enjoy your day. So until we meet again, have a good one. And I'll see you guys next time around, okay? Bye.